Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. No, Chris, we're not aliens here. No alien sniper beasts. Good morning. Good morning, Max, Chris, David, Shadow. What's up? Nice of you to make another appearance here. Let's get this mic adjusted here. All right, I'm going to hop right into the charts here because I've got a pretty nice analysis today, although it's going to run, it's going before I want it to go. So let's hop over here. I'm going to go straight to the daily chart because there's not much going on the weekly. Not really much on the daily either. I've got a lot of markings over here, but basically, we are in another nice, ugly consolidation area. As I mentioned earlier, we pulled up, we rebalanced this imbalance here, and then I was wondering if we were going to keep making our way up. However, yesterday, we came back down. But if you look here, what we have is, come on. Look at the bodies. So we have this this discount wick right here, right? I've been watching this. Look at all the bodies right here, and then the wicks right in the upper quadrant of that discount wick. So I'm paying close attention to that because we may, I don't know, I flipped back to a neutral bias overall because of how we're looking in here. So right now, fairly neutral overall. But on the 4-hour chart, let's go here. And the 4-hour, we had this SIBI here yesterday, and we rebalanced it. We inverted it. But then we created this BISI right here. And so far, we're holding up. So what I want to see is if we're going to hold this area and continue up, or if we're going to get through it and go down. I'm just going to go straight to the 15-minute chart here because, of course, you know that's my bread and butter. So we have sell side liquidity down here. Okay, we have relative equal lows right here. And then we also have the London range, of course. But if you look closely, we have relative equal lows right here. They're within a point from each other. Internal range liquidity, I like that area for us to come down to. I'm a little bit more, I'd say today on the bullish side because we also have the opening range gap up here, the new week opening gap up here that we never went up into. And because we have this 4-hour fair value gap right here that potentially will be holding price as support. But what I could see, so if I am expecting, I'm not married to it, but I'm a little more expecting it to go up today. But what should happen first is go down, right? And then go up. So if it's going to come down, I got to look for a reason. Well, like I said, right here, relative equal lows, we could see it come down into here, sweep that, and then make our way up to have this as a buy side liquidity, but it's more of a minor buy side liquidity. Ultimate target, if we do come up today, I'd be looking in this 980 all the way up to this 060 range. I'd be looking, and actually maybe even higher than that, 080. So 980 to 080. That's the if we come up. Now again, I'm neutral, so it doesn't have to happen, because if we do get, what I'm looking at is if we do get past, this is the first area, because remember, is basically how I trade ICT concepts. I identify a key area that I want to see what price does. All right, so basically this 4-hour fair value gap, and there's also a 15-minute one right here. That's what I'm looking for. This is my key area right here. Can price get below it and keep going, or is it going to hold somewhere in this area and reverse and go up? So that's what I look for. I always look for a key area, and then I look below that key area. Are there any targets or reasons to go down? And above that key area, are there any targets, and reasons to go up? If I have both sides, then basically I'm waiting for the market to show me. So if I'm neutral overall and I have targets above and below my key area right here, then I wait until the market shows me which way it wants to go, and then I try to take a trade to it. However, if I have a key area and let's say, I only have targets above, up here, and I don't see anything below. And I'm like, I don't see anything below. And I'm bullish overall. And the market opens, and let's just say it just goes and keeps going down. Those are the days I probably don't get a trade because it just keeps going, and I don't have a target. So why am I going to take a trade? So anyways, just a quick explanation on that. And so today, that's what I'm looking for. So now we just took those relative equal lows here, right? Oops. We just took those relative equal lows. So now I'm waiting to see, is it going to show me that we're going to keep going? And if it does, then, I have reasons to go short. But if we get a reversal somewhere in this area, then I have reasons to go long. So I'm also going to watch this potential SIBI right here. At 9:45, we'll get a SIBI right there. And then that'll be a nice indicator that we may keep going down. So let's go to the 1 minute chart. I know we're going to have a opening range gap because we gapped. Yeah, we already closed it. Right here. We opened. So yeah, I knew we gapped up. So we've already closed that. Made it right down to this 15-minute fair value gap I marked. I'm actually going to take that away. And the reason why I marked that 15-minute fair value gap is because right here, those relative equal lows I had, if the market came down and took this last low, so like this is all sell side liquidity in here. If it took this last low, then the next thing I need to look for is the next imbalance, which is this one right here. So that's why this is the one 15-minute fair value gap that I really cared about. And I want to see it get past that. We've already traded through this, so that's fine. But now it's stopped here. So I want to see what we do. If we can get past that, then we're likely going to go to 677.50. Like, highly likely. And we do have 10 a.m. news as well, so. Good morning, everybody. Tony, hey. Sorry, also, I wanted to really explain all that because I felt like we're going to get some fast-paced movement this morning. And we did, and we are. And I wanted to really explain what I was seeing there with this sell-side liquidity and all the points there. Because as I was watching and setting up my framework, the market was coming straight down to those relative equal lows I had. And, yeah, see? We're just going straight down to that 677.50 there. And I am on the 1 minute chart here. I know y'all can't see the time. And actually, I went to try to adjust that, and I can't. Because the way remember I told y'all I have my chart here. It's not the full width chart. So it's cut off. And it actually cuts it off right where the time frame is showing. So I went to try to adjust that bar on the top on the overlay, but you still are not going to be able to see the time with the way that the chart is shown here. So you're just going to have to look. I'm mainly on the 1 minute chart, but typically when I flip to the 15-minute or something, I'll say it. But then you could just see on the right here where the price line is. You can see the countdown and kind of know what it is. So at this point, if we get a SIBI in here, we'll see. But, I mean, I don't see any reason why we'd stop and not get down to that sell side liquidity now. So we got a SIBI there. Let's see if we come back to it or not. This might be an early one. Morning, Greasy. Morning, Will. All right, we hit that SIBI there. I'm going short here. I'm going to take it down to that sell side liquidity, see if we can get there. I don't see any reason for it to stop right there. And I'm going to go to break even now, just in case if it keeps hesitating at this little area, just to protect my trade here. Come on. Being difficult. Knocked me out. I could have left it, but I don't like the way these wicks and bodies are stopping here. There's no real reason for it to pull back and not get there, but you just never know. I was up 100 ticks basically, so I didn't like the way, because see, you got to see when things like this, like it came just short. Wow. And it's really pulling back. But you got to see too, like, look at the bodies and look at the wicks. So when I start seeing that, that's suspect to me. And that's why I went ahead and moved to break even. My trades are not grouped on TradingView. I just use TradingView as my leader, and my and where I execute. They're copied in NinjaTrader, so I'm connected in NinjaTrader. So look at that, man. Hey, sometimes it just gets down there and doesn't go all the way. Wow, I really didn't see a reason here. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. I mean, that's just more sell side liquidity, right? So dang, and look at that wick. I really didn't think it'd stop short right there. But hey, sometimes it happens. That's why you manage your trades. Looks like some of mine got... I keep forgetting to add the commissions in my NinjaTrader. Let's go back to the 1 minute here. All right, so now we're back at this area here. So, like I said, I was leaning more bullish today, but I did think if we came down to this area that we'd get that 677.50. Very well could be leaving this sell side liquidity here for another day. And at this point, if we can get back, let's see. We rebalance that 15-minute, potential 15-minute. Here's the 15-minute chart again. We had a potential SIBI that was going to form here at 9:45, and we just rebalanced that. Immediate rebalance. We're not leaving it. And look at that wick, man. So we'll see. Now at this point, got to be a little patient because we're back in this middle area, that key interest area that I was talking about this morning during the analysis. So we're back here, and now I want to see where we're going to go. All right, we do have this SIBI right here. So let's see if we get past that right here. So let's see if we get past that or if this is going to hold now. If we get up past this, then yeah, we're just going to go up. Especially with the way this long wick went down like that. No, I mean, I said from the beginning, if I'm looking more bullish, right? If you're if I'm looking like I'm thinking we're going to go up, what you want to see at the open is a draw on liquidity in the opposite direction. That's why I have these areas marked. I had this as my first area right here, 794.25. And then if it took this area where that 15-minute fair value gap was, 677.50 was where I thought it would go. And that would be my final draw right there, and then price to make its way up. However, it came just short. So in this draw down here, I can look for a trade to go with it, right? To any of these targets. That's why I have to have targets every time. And here, it just got short. But that's also why you got to read the wicks, read the bodies, read all that stuff. Because like this, like look at that. I mean, when you get this right here, the bodies just closing right here, barely getting under, and then the wicks. That's why I was like, nah, I'm moving to break even. So if anybody took a short there, I hope you got to break even, because if not, that was a full loss there. And that's why I'm okay, 1,000% okay with going to break even, especially using this 15-second confirmation. Yeah, there's going to be days where I get broke even and it goes on and wins. But there's going to be days when you've saved trades. Saving trades, keeping risk management tight. And then whenever you have your 40, 50, 60 point winners, it makes up for all of it. So now we've rebalanced this 15-minute SIBI here. We haven't inverted it, but it's rebalanced. So I'm getting rid of that on my chart. I'm on the 1-minute chart here still. You got you a win, Max. Good job. Hey, and I might not even get... I mean, I have a lot of room to go long. So hopefully I get an entry somewhere. But, yeah. You got to look at it like, you know, you got your power of 3 here. You got some accumulation, manipulation down. Now we can have some distribution to the long side. And all the way up here where I was saying that 980 all the way to 080, that's where I think price should get up to. Now I'm going to see if we get this BISI here. I wish it would have came back into this one because I hate when they're all the way up this high. But It's early, and we have a lot more room to go up there. But also, see, like, let's say it comes back into this 1 minute Bissy, and I do get along. I am going to, on this one, probably move to break even pretty early as well, because we have this one down here that we never went back into. We have this lower one that we never went back into. So anytime I have these, when it just runs, and if I take a trade, because I think price could go higher, but if I take a trade in the fair value gap that's kind of way up here, then I'm always a little more cautious and I'm quicker to move to break even. And if it just runs without me and hits those targets, then it just goes without me and I don't get a trade. Well, I guess I'll take a small loss with all this commission. And I keep forgetting to add into my Ninja Trader there. These are the days where people get FOMO too. They see it going and going and going. I feel like they're missing out. Even if you think you know where it's going, the second you jump in, it's when it could turn around or pull back. That's why I only will enter on my entries. And I don't care if it runs. I do not care if it runs without me. That's just another day. Come back another day. It's that simple. And I've said it a million times on here, and I'll say it again. I always ask myself, if I take this trade and it loses, how will I feel? And if I took a random trade just because of FOMO, because it's going up and I feel like it's going to go up there, and it loses, that's tilt session right there. Can't do it. I'm really surprised, though, that it did stop down here where it did. I'm really surprised. We got, well, it was almost about 18 points, 17 points away. See, my live account never gets slippage. My prop accounts get more slippage than my live. See, my live, I shorted at 721. Got out at 718, so I actually made like 3 points. And you can see it on my dashboard there. My live made $115 when my funded accounts, only 2 made a little bit. The rest got slippage. Obviously, I'm not worried about that, but just remain patient and don't get FOMO. No FOMO, y'all. Reminder, two reminders. Apex 90% off sale and PA fee ends tonight. Ends tonight. And I can say with high confidence we won't have another 90% off sale for a little while. So, ends tonight. Great things coming in the pipeline very soon. And also, another reminder, Thursday and Friday, I will not be live streaming. I will be out of town. So today and tomorrow, and that's it. No mo FOMO. Start randomly saying that to people. Hey, no FOMO. What? What are you talking about? What'd you call me? Just kidding. Man, my sinuses are almost back to normal. Jeez. Can't wait. Golly. Can't wait for some stable weather. That's the problem. Stable weather. Okay. Checking some notifications here. All right, let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? A little bit of reaccumulation here before we continue. Don't forget, we have 10 a.m. news. We do have some Fed speakers that were speaking like at 9, I think, at 9:30. Oh, you know what? Forgot my Discord Financial Juice feed. Hey, Max, have a good one. Thanks for joining. Great job on your win today. Yeah, we had some Fed speakers talking at about within the last 10 minutes. Actually, they're still probably talking here. And then 10 a.m. news. So, all right, now we're down into this one. I'm not going to be extremely eager to hop in, but let's see. Let's see if we get an entry. My entry will be somewhere around here, this 931 low of, ooh, that's a 30-point stop there. Be about a 30-point stop. So let's make sure this thing, yeah, there might be a new BISI forming here soon too. So at 10 a.m. So a lot of times, and look at the wick right now. I don't want to jump to it just yet because I'm trying to see if I might get an entry here. But there's a long wick on that 15-minute, our current 15-minute candle as well. So if we do kind of hover around here for the next 5 minutes, and we get that BISI, 15-minute BISI, we could see it go into it before coming up. Be interesting to see. See now, this is what you got to always, even if you drop down to the 15-second chart to look for confirmation, if you're trading that way, then you always got to, on another screen, keep a 1 minute, flip to a 1 minute on another screen, because as this is pulling down into this BISI here, I want to make sure we don't get a SIBI, right? So like, look, see this? We might get a SIBI here. And at that point, like if we get this, like I don't want to be like, okay, what's that going to look like? I don't want to be in a trade when that happens. Like the worst thing, like it sucks if you go long in here and all of a sudden now you're long against a brand new SIBI. Like that sucks. And I noticed this little gap right here does not exist. Let me refresh my chart. There we go. All right. So now we got a SIBI here and an inversion. So we're likely to come back down to here maybe. We're trying to rebound here. Let's go to the 15-minute. This is going to be interesting. We have news now in 3 minutes, so I'm not going to take a trade until after 10, if I do. But interesting. Look at this. We had the long wick down. We have this wick up, and then we have this BISI, but now it's still there, but it almost rebalanced it. But also there's that inversion right here. So do we get past this like 860 area or not? Do we get below that? That's going to be the question for me to NQ. Yeah, no, big time, Will. That's like, I don't like that. I don't like this wick up here. I don't like this wick down here. So we'll see. I mean, this could be, we'll see if we get past. This is really the area for me that I'm looking at. Even if we don't, we got 2 minutes. Even if it rebalances that, we still have this little inversion here. And then we have these two down candles, right? So like, this is a really key area. And actually, this is the exact area I said this morning before the market opened that I'm looking at as a key area to see if we can get above or below. However, today it's like really trying to like, I don't know what it's doing because we have the key area. It got below it, missed the lowest target, came back above the key area, took this minor buy side, but then just stopped here. So it's a little dangerous, So I'm going to leave it on the 15-minute chart for right now because I want to see what happens here. We have a minute left, and I'm not looking to take an entry at the moment. So sometimes when I know I don't want to take an entry yet and I want to watch like a higher time frame, I'll leave it, my main chart, on the 15-minute. That way I can't take an entry. Like right now, you could be looking at that SIBI on the 1 minute and be like, oh, we're going to go down to whatever. I don't want to play that game. So I'll leave it on the 15-minute. So that way I sit here and I'm like, I can't, there's no entry. I can't take an entry. Like kind of trick myself. Man, my lips are so chapped from that stupid cold wind on the jet ski the other day that I was mentioning. Now, I will say this. It's about to be 10 a.m. If we go up and invert this SIBI and reclaim this one, I'll like that. I will like that. So I'm back on the 1 minute. So we'll see what we do here. It's 10 a.m. And of course, if we keep coming down, like we still have this one. And then we still have this big one down here as well. Which all this might get inverted if we are going to come down and actually take that sell side liquidity now. So if we displace and we show no, like if the market shows like it doesn't care about these BISIs in here, then I may look to finally go to that sell side liquidity. Rebalanced, almost completely rebalanced that 5-minute Bissy. It's 10:01. Like, I think one of the biggest skills you can learn is, and I know you've heard it, but is patience. So if you lean more towards being patient, more most of the time, even if you feel like, oh, I want to get in something and just like, you know what, let me wait. Most of the time, that's going to play out better for you. And you'll see like, oh man, I'm glad I didn't get in that. You'll see that more oftentimes. And then if you're just so patient that you don't take anything, like I feel like that's easier to work with than just hopping into stuff. Because then you're already dialed back, you're already patient. Now you just got to work on, okay, pulling that trigger. But what it will do is keep you out of a lot of bad stuff. And, you know, a lot of times what happens with people, and I know what used to happen with me a lot, is I'd be impatient and take something too soon and it loses. I'd be like, oh, I can't be done that quick. So then you'd want to take another trade. And we know how that goes. Yeah, I'm not liking that 15-minute candle. What time frame? What time is that? That 9:30 candle on the 15-minute chart. I just don't like it at all. And the next one, the 9:45, that wick up, the wick up and the wick down. Oof. We'll see. We'll see if we get. It's still a little early. It's only 10:03, so we'll see if we get something here. More tilt than a pinball machine. Yeah. Oh man, got a crick in my neck. Dang. But see, this area also from the daily chart is what I was mentioning. Remember on the daily chart, and I'll flip to it in a second, where I was like, the bodies are stopping here, then you have the wicks, right? That was right here. Here's the discount wick, the high of it right there, and here's the upper quadrant. So the last few days, this right here, that's been happening on the daily chart over and over, getting into it and then go up. Come back, get into it and go up. And you can see that. Let me flip to the daily now. Right there. Look at that. Let's zoom in on here. That's what I'm talking about. This is the discount wick. This long wick down right here. And look at the bodies. Body here, body here. You got them up there. But even the bodies that closed up there, look at that. Wicked, body. We're here. All the wicks. All in here. The bodies tell the story and the wicks do the damage. That's also why right now I'm a little more on the bullish side. All right, here we go. See if we can get this inversion. Reclaim that. We pulled back up off of this. So if we can get an inversion on this SIBI, we can get a BISI in here. That's the one I'm looking to long. Actually, let me put this one back so we can see if it can invert it. We do have a 5-minute SIBI as well that we did create, so I would want to see it trade through that. Here, let me go to the 5-minute and show you. Right here, we have this 5-minute SIBI. So we came all the way down and almost rebalanced this BISI completely. With that pullback down, we created this 5-minute SIBI. And now we just went right to the midpoint of it. Or, no, the midpoint of that 1 minute. So we'll see if we could trade up through it to rebalance it and keep going up or not. Might end up turning into a day where that first trade might be the only thing I got. We'll see. And I'm 100% okay with that. And I know y'all hear me say that a lot on the stream, that, you know, this or this can happen, and I'm 100% okay with that. That's literally, like, if y'all also understand how powerful the mind is and the psychology and discipline behind trading, like, the things you say out loud goes into your subconscious. That's why I hate playing around with, like, YOLOing and saying that I'm going to do stuff, because believe it or not, that goes in your subconscious mind. So that's why every time I'm like, yeah, if this happens, or if that happens, I'm 100% okay with that. That's like me literally affirming and saying out loud and speaking into my, like, programming of my mind to be okay with this stuff like that. Like even if I wasn't on stream, I'm literally saying that to myself. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this, or if I get no more trades, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm 100% okay with that. That's me programming my mind. And that's very, very important, believe it or not. I've read a lot of psychology book, not trading psychology, but like neuroscience, like books and like boring stuff. But for me, that stuff's not boring. Like, I like psychology stuff and neuroscience and stuff. It's always intriguing to me. I'm a little bit of a undercover nerd, I guess. Yep, that works for journaling as well. Exactly. And I've said this a million times as well. There's literally a study that if you just try to remember something, you retain less than 10% of it. If you write it, the chemical signal from your brain to your hand, pen to paper, helps you retain over 80% of what you write just because you wrote it. Like, physically writing it, not typing it, because you physically wrote it. There's literally a study on that. And then if you teach it, you retain over 90%. All right. We might get the BISI here. Misclicked. And we're going to get the inversion, looks like. And this is where I'm going to look for a long inside this BISI if it all plays out. If we can get it. Well, come on. Don't like that it made my BISI there smaller. I don't like the wick up. It's about a 6-point fair value gap there, so not too bad. But I do want to, so you see how I had this buy side liquidity. We ran it right up to this new day opening gap and dropped. And now I want to be careful. Look at the bodies again. If we struggle, if we keep wicking above this buy side liquidity and we just really struggle to stay above it, could be a little, take some caution there. We haven't technically inverted this yet. Okay, now we have an inversion. Since I don't take inversions, unless it's a golden inversion and I really like it, I'm going to get rid of that one because I do want to see it pull back to this BISI here. It might not because of that inversion, so we'll see. All right. See what we do here. Nope. The market said nope. Now, what I am looking for, or looking at, not for, is I want to be cautious of a market structure setting up to go short. Because right here we have this single point, right? And got to be careful. If this high up here stays protected, like I've talked about on the stream about having a long-term high, intermediate-term high, and all that, if this stays protected, now I'm watching this one because if we get an inversion or not, it's not one I'm shorting. Man, my neck is just like got a nasty crick in my neck. All right, how's everybody holding up? Got any wins? Losses, break evens. See, that's why I wanted to watch this one, because if we get an inversion here, I mean, it's just being high resistance right now. It's not, I'm not seeing any, like, I'm not considering any seek and destroy conditions, but it's just high resistance. Yesterday was high resistance. The trade I ended up taking after the stream, it was a high resistance day or morning. One break even. Big loss today. Oh, sorry, Tony. Hate that. Will got nothing. Just soreness from sitting. Yeah. Stiff back. Yeah. Staying right in here in this midnight opening, 8:30 opening. Nope, not an easy session. The 1 hour looks interesting. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Yeah. That's that 9:30. No, 9 o'clock bar. I mean, look at that. Wick down, wick up. Shoo, man. Even this bar, that our current bar that we're on, staying right in that same area. Very indecisive right now. Back to the 1 minute. Still think we go up here, but we'll see. Of course, I want to see, like, if I'm thinking, if I'm preferring a long, and I was talking about having potentially a long-term high here, maybe having an intermediate term high here, then what I want to see is it get taken out, right? So, like, if I was looking to go short, then I want to see this one stay protected. And then I'd want to see another short-term high here stay. And if we get that, then I'd want to see displacement down. But since I'm leaning more towards being bullish, then I want to see, instead, I want to see this swing get taken. And then how we have this fair value gap, or a fair value gap in here somewhere, and then come back to it and go up. Someone needs to teach a lesson on how to lose a PA. All right, so here we go. I want to see it take this swing and then pull back into it. What do you mean? Well, I've talked about how to learn. You got to learn how to lose. Like, you got to learn how to lose. I have that in some videos, actually. In the 3 phases every trader must go through. Yeah, exactly, Will. So Will pointed out if there's displacement at the intermediate term high here, then it'd be a good long as you have the 948 high, which is over here for break even. Yep, that's pretty much what I was looking at. I'd want to see if I do get a trade. Well, we're gonna get another little sibby, or I mean a bissy here too. So if we get this displacement, well, we are. If we come back to it, then you have this high right here, to where as soon as you get there, then you can go to break even. And now, what would be nice, like, see now also, if we're creating some relative equal highs here. So if we pull back, we should keep going. Man. Got to sit up a little bit here. Now, of course, again, I'll look for an entry here, but you got to remember we have this one down here as well. So I may move to break even a little faster. Oh, there's a little bitty one right here too. Look at that. It probably hit that on MNQ. That's too. I don't like. Like, I hate when it does that. It gets right there and barely touches. Even if it did touch, I hate when it touches to the tick. Like, I like for it to at least like go into it a little bit. But see, this low is 918. The high of the fair value gap is 918. So it hit it to the tick right there. I hate that. It's probably just going to keep going up now. So it took this high, barely. Might not come back. If it's going to keep going long, it probably shouldn't come back. That's the bad thing. Uh-oh. Make sure you're not having tech issues. $964.25. This 948 high right here, or 949 high. That's weird. I just refreshed. Oh, look at that. I just refreshed and now look at that. Yeah. No, look, this wick wasn't showing. I had to refresh. Yeah, it was me this time, Chris. All right. See if we get this Bissy. And the only reason why I'm okay with taking a trade in any of these Bissies up here is because I have a lot of room to go of where I think price is headed. And the fact that it's already manipulated down, it's done this price action, it should keep going all the way up here. But will it give me an entry? That's the question. And if it doesn't, and if it gets all the way up to those areas, if it gets all the way up in here, then I'm done. There's nothing for me after that. If I don't get a trade, I don't get a trade. And I'll take my little break even and be done for the day. Just don't get FOMO. No FOMO, y'all. Unless you have an entry that you take. Yeah, it was me this time, Chris. It was me. Bet you feel good about that, huh? All right. Coming up to 10:30 here. If this just keeps going, like I said, might not be anything for me. If it reaches, pretty much if it reaches, if it gets through this 040, this area right here, then I'm done. Then it's just going to run without me. Look how perfect this is. Look at this high. Look at this low. Equilibrium midpoint is literally right here where the bodies were, right there. Equilibrium, and then go. That's beautiful. So this, if you were really, really confident, thought it was going long, yeah, look at this. There's going to be nothing for me. Nice, Munch. Good job. See, we're in this one here. Let's see. It's a relatively small stop if I try it. Because it shouldn't pull back much at all if it's going to keep heading up there. Otherwise, it'll pull back down to this one. But it really shouldn't. Might give it a shot. We'll see. Yeah, I'm going long here. I'm going to give it a shot. Put in my stop. Right up at this 1 minute fair value gap. Targeting the high of this opening range gap. Hopefully it doesn't stall here. But I have a 10 point, 11 point stop. So no. Might tag me out. 23, 13, 14 point stop. I have a 14 point stop. Of course, it's going to stop right here now and pull back lower. Yeah. All good. I had to give it a shot. Had to give it a shot. It's probably going to stay here, accumulate. But see, we have all these lower ones. But I only risked 12 points or so. All right. Gave it that one little shot to see if we get up there. It didn't. So that's going to be it for me. That's a wrap. And yeah. Yeah, I know. I have to flatten. So I always have a habit of going to my rhythmic and flattening. It was closed. It's just the glitch with NinjaTrader. So, all right, y'all. I am done. I'm going to hop off. I will see y'all tomorrow. And if you're going to keep trading, be patient. And as always, trade well, everybody. Take care.